Hello everyone, now we are continuing with the geography, the chapter 2 that is land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Hope you remember this chapter and itself geography book says that we have to study about resources every time and we are going to study the next resources. The first we are starting with the land, then second will start soil, then water, then natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Now here is a start with the land. Now before starting this, I just want to tell you one thing. See this diagram, earth. Earth is divided in two parts. One is water area and one is land area. 70% of the earth is covered with the water and 30% of the earth is covered with the land area. Out of 30%, the one third part is used by the human being and for their use and natural water areas and all, and 2/3 will be inhabitable, that is rugged land, steep slopes, very high snowy mountains and glaciers. Now 1/3 is habitable, that is plain area. It covers river, valleys are thickly populated. Thick forest, desert, high mountains are sparsely populated. Now moving on to the first page, again with the land. 90% of the population on 30% area. Okay, 90% of a population of earth is live on the 30% of the area. 70% land is inhabitable, that we have studied, 2/3, and 1/3, 30% surface of the land that is covered in the desert, forests, water bodies, plains, rivers, etc. Now the land use, what are the uses of land? Land are used for various purposes: agriculture, forestry, mining, building, construction, roads, house, and so many things. And then determine by physical factors. So the physical factor, we also say that feasible things. Okay, the word is used in place of physical, that is feasible. Soil, climate and water, that is natural factor, and the human, population, technology, these are the factor. Okay, now land is divided into two parts, that is private land and community owned land. Private land means the land that is of a single person, so that land will be used by that person and their family members, and called as relatives and all, they can use that land. And apart from that community land, it's not, there is no owner of that land. Every individual person who is a citizen of a country, who is a citizen of that area, they can utilize, they can use that area. So we can take the example of community garden that is located in the cities, where every person will go over there for doing the exercises and all. And now the threats means problem. What are the problems of a land? That is land degradation, landslides, soil erosion and desertification are the problems of land. Okay, threats of a land. Now this diagram we have already studied. Now moving on to the next, that is land conservation. How the land is conserved. Now first of all, we have to stop the deforestation process. We have to plant more and more trees for conserving the land. That is comes with the afforestation. We have to plant more and more trees. So deforestation will be down and we have to continue with the afforestation. So through this we can do the thing. Now land reclamation, we can even use land, and again this is the part of growing more and more trees. Now regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizer. What are the regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizer? Means we have to stop using the more chemical pesticides and fertilizer. If the pesticides and fertilizer will be made up of with the chemical, that is not good for the soil fertility, so we have to stop using it. And apart from using the chemical fertilizer pesticides, we have to use the organic manure. Okay, now the check on overgrazing. We have to stop overgraze the land. We have to stop cutting the trees. We have to stop grazing the land, and we have to stop using the more technology while for grazing the land. So through this the land conservation will stop. So we have to all have to check on this thing. And the most important thing that we have to do, plant more and more trees, because this is most important part, and all the chapter is interconnected, interrelated to each other. Land is related to water, water is related to soil, everything is are interdependent in this chapter. Now moving on to the landslides. Landslides are the another problem of a land degradation, threat of a land, that is mass movement of a rock, debris or earth down a slope, one place, Kinnaur district, that is in Himachal Pradesh, there is a problem of a land slide, that is Tibet Road National Highway 22. Okay, so if I will ask you the problem of soil erosion, soil conservation, and water conservation, water scarcity of water, so you can easily give me the answer of these questions. And if I will ask you the problem of landslide, so you might not be having the proper answer of a landslide. So here are the mitigation that is important in the landslides, that is hazardous mapping, retention wall, increase vegetation, and surface drainage to control. Now here I will start with the surface drainage control. What are the surface drainage control? So here we will study that to control the movement of a landslide along with the rainwater and spring flows. Means here they can make a drainage line to control the land, and even the soil will not be moved from that area. That is the another example. Okay, now increase vegetation means we have to first of all we have to do more and more planting trees, and then after that we have to increase the vegetation. The area will be covered by the land. On that area we have to increase the vegetation area and even stop and people will avoid to come over there, and that area will not be used by the regular person. Now retention wall, we have to make the walls, we have to construct a wall to stop the landsliding and stop the land from the slipping mode. Means the land will not be come out with the soil and the land will not be degrade through this process. And now hazardous mapping means GIS. GIS means Geographical Information System. GIS, that is Geographical Information System. Okay, so what is this? Now in this, the locate area prone landslide, hence the area can be avoided for building settlement. Means the normal people will not be live over there, and that area will not be used for the normal people. Means any of the people, any of the citizen will not be live over there, and no building should be constructed on that particular area side. Okay, now moving on to the, here we have completed the land topic, and in the NCERT book the case study of this particular area is also given, so you can go through that. And it can also occur due to the problem of earthquake, floods and volcanoes, and prolonged spill. Rainfall can cause heavy landslide. If the heavy rainfall is there, then also the landslides is also occur on that particular area. So we have to look after this thing, and we have to stay safe and stay healthy. Now here we have to complete the land area, one topic, land resources. Now moving on to the soil, how the soil is formed and what are the structure of a soil. So the thin layer of a gray substance covering the surface of the earth is called a soil. Okay, the thin layer that we have say in the gray color, so that is the soil. And the structure of a soil is firstly topsoil with the humus and vegetation, subsoil with the sand, silt and clay, and weathered rock material, and parent rock. Okay, this is the structure of a soil. Hope you have seen this. Now here are the so many factors that are affect the soil formation. So many factors are there that affect the soil formation. The first is parent rock. Determines color, texture, chemical properties, mineral content, and okay, now relief, altitude and slopes determine the accumulation of soil. Flora and fauna. Then time is also required, because the time is needed for making a soil, because soil is not made by the human being, it is the natural process and it can be made by itself. And the climate that affect the soil, that is the temperature, rainfall influence the rate of a weathering and the humus. Now moving on to the next, soil conservation. What are the soil conservation? So soil conservation needed the mulching, contour barrier, rock dam, terrace farming, intercropping, contour plowing, shelter belts, etc. Okay, now we'll start at the shelter belt. Shelter belt means even in the coastal area, the dry regions, row of trees are parallel to check the wind movement to protect the soil covering. Means that farming will be done with the help of if a high wind blows, then the top soil of the agriculture area or of that particular area will not be blow with itself, because they have done on the parallel basis. So this problem will not be occur. Now contour plowing. So contour plowing, I will make a diagram for you. This is the structure of contour plowing. In this manner, the contour plowing will be performed. Okay, this is also known as the parallel. Hope you have remembered that parallel lines. Okay, through this the contour plowing will be performed. So what particular thing happens, they can stop doing the flow down of a water. Okay, the water will not be flow properly in this, and the soil will not be flow from this is help, and this is done on the hilly slope. This particular thing will be done on the hilly slope, contour plowing. Now what are before explaining anything, I will explain you the contour barriers firstly, because I have already made the diagram of contour plowing. So contour plowing, the process of a contour plowing, it's in the same manner. So with this they can stop doing the barriers, they can make up barriers if the things will not be flow from there. So what are the barriers? They have made the stones, put the stone here, put the grasses over there, put the things over there. So soil, grass, so the barriers will stop flowing the soil and water from one area to another area. Means if the water and things will be flow from this area to this area, then the barriers will stop them. Then the barriers will stop them properly. Now the next is intercropping. Intercropping, if this is the land and here we are doing the agriculture, here we are doing the farming. So what particular thing, if we have divided the land in 3 parts, now here I have done the groundnut and here I have done the barley, and for both the nitrogen is required. So whatever the minerals and nutrients will be needed by the barley, so that will be that help will be given by groundnut to barley, and whatever the minerals and nutrients is required to the groundnut, the barley can help to the groundnut, because they have this is known as the intercropping, and through this we also conserve the land also, and the fertility of land will not be reduced if we will do the intercropping. Now here we have to continue with the terrace farming. So what are the terrace farming? If the mountain area is there, if this hilly slope is there, so through this pattern the farming will be performed. Through this pattern the farming will be performed. So this is known as a terrace farming. The broad flat steps or terrace are made on the steep slopes. On the steep slope, the broad steep slope, this particular thing will be made and available on the grow crops and reduce the surface run of soil erosion, and even this is also help in soil erosion. Now moving on to the rock dams. Rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water. This prevents gills and further soil loss. Now mulching. What is mulching? If the empty or a bare ground is there, and if no one is doing the farming over there and the land is good, so the straws are there, and on that straw even they can stop retaining the soil and moisture, and the matter organic means it helps in retain to the soil and moisture. It helps in retention of the soil and moisture. Okay, hope you understand up to this. Now we are continuing with the next, that is water. Now we have already studied that the 70% of our earth is covered with the water, and life began 3.5 million years ago. 2/3 is water. Ocean water is saline. 2/3 water of earth is a saline water, means it's a salty water, and fresh water is available only 2.7% of this 70%. 2.7% of this 70% as ice and glaciers. Only 1% water is fit for the human use. Okay, now the total volume of water on earth remains constant, neither added nor deleted. Water cycle operates, means the total volume will not be added and will not be deleted. Suppose if I am giving an example, if Amazon river having a water on that particular time, and if I will say whatever the water is there in the Amazon river that is presently in the river of India, that is Ganga. So there is no problem in this, because that is the part of a water cycle. If water will be go in precipitation and condensation and evaporation process, the water will be come out, and this is known as the cycle. Now here is the feature of a water cycle. Now here you are seeing evaporation, then condensation, then transportation. Transportation comes means making a cloud, and when clouds will be heavy, then it comes precipitation and the precipitation process, and that come on the mountain area. Through the mountain area it will become on the ground, and ground it will be go under the ground, on the earth and under the ground. So, and with this the water flow to the river. So this shows that is the water cycle. Now water shortage. So in so many areas there are very ample number of problem of water shortage. Okay, annual precipitation is also important, because the water area problem is only occur, I think so, in the particular season. This problem is occur only in the particular season. If the rainy season is there, so I don't think so there is the shortage of a water is there. And but if the rainy season is not there, then this problem will be mainly occurred over that particular side. Now here is a diagram that shows the yellow area that cover with the yellow part, that is the maximum number of problems, and in the light blue color that is the limited, means not acute problem is there. So this is the example of there, and so many area of our country, of our world that facing the problem of scarcity of water. Now main contaminated, now here is the scarcity caused by the over exploitation. Over exploitation means overusing of any of the product or any of the thing, and contamination of water is the biggest problem. So what is contamination of water? This is the biggest problem. Means if the water will be contaminated, water will be not be safe for the using of a people. And how the water will contaminate it? Whatever the material come from the factories and the sewage side will be mixed up in the river water, and chemical that is used in the agriculture that mix up with the water, river water. So that shows that the contamination of water will be increased. Now here we will start with the natural vegetation and wildlife. Occurs in narrow zone of biosphere ecosystem. Now hope you remember that the diagram, hope you remember that one thing that we have already studied over there, that atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. Here I will make the diagram for you. Suppose one is atmosphere, one is lithosphere and one is hydrosphere. So that particular area that comes with the three, okay, that particular area is known as the biosphere. Okay, that area comes as the biosphere. Okay, and ecosystem, life supporting system. Ecosystem means life supporting system that with the help of natural vegetation, natural things that comes, and in which that particular thing comes plants. Plants will give us so many things: food, shelter, timber, oxygen, belts, protect soil. Then wildlife, milk, hide, wool, meat. Then vulture is a scavengers that can even do the means, will say if any of the species will be died, so that can be gone to the earth, and even the vulture can even remove them from the earth. Heavy rain, abundant trees, dry areas, thorny shrubs and forest, evergreen forest. So in the last class 6th and 7th we have already studied about all these things. What are the forest area? Evergreen forest, we would say that will be green over the years, remains green over the time, and that is comes with the 140 degrees centimeter of the rainfall is there over there. And then the deciduous, it will be that will not be the green throughout the time, that will not green throughout the time. So we have already studied all these things in the last class also, so hope you remember that. Now moving on to extinction of a natural resources. What are the extinction of a natural resource? The biggest problem of extinction of natural resource, that is deforestation, means cutting down of a tree. So how can we retain this? Through the afforestation process. Now soil erosion is another problem. Then constructional activities, means so many construction activities will be performed by the human being on the earth. So this is also the problem of the same thing. Forest fire, means naturally if the forest fire is there, then also tsunami, landslide and poaching of animals. Now, conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. How we will conserve the natural vegetation and wildlife in India and in all over the world? So many awareness programs will be going through the government. That is One Mahotsav, forestry and wildlife sanctuary is also established, and then biosphere reserves is also over there. National park also established, and the awareness program is also come in the socially to the people. That is One Mahotsav program. Example, laws on trade and poaching of birds and animals. Okay, the killing of a birds and animal is also the law. If the people is doing, then the fine and the system of judiciary will be performed over there. Now the most important, that CITES, Conventional on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wildlife, Flora and Fauna. Hope you have remembered that flora itself come with the flora with the flower and the plants, and the fauna with the animal. Okay, now Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wildlife, Fauna and Flora. CITES prohibit the trade and see if it does not threaten the survival 5,000 animal species and 28,000